everybody. Welcome to Keep It Spiritually Simple. I'm your host, Sandra McAllis. And how are you on this fun day, Sunday, Father's Day? So, I want to talk about something that I think many people are hearing about, but maybe just aren't grasping the severity of using certain products. What if you were in the shampoo aisle reaching for a bottle of shampoo? Just say you're just reaching for a bottle of something. And I came up to you and said, hey, did you know that if you use that shampoo, it's not going to come out of your hair for months? What if I said, you're going to think it rinsed out, but it's going to leave a residue? Then you're going to go to style your hair, which is going to exacerbate the residue, creating more residue, leading to a really, really bad hair day. And no matter how many times you jump back in that shower to wash your hair, it's going to increase the residue that is in the hair. Now, it's going to go into the hair follicles. It's going to go past the hair follicles and into the layers of the skin of the scalp, clogging it all up, gumming it up like tar, getting into the bloodstream, getting into the brain. So not only are you going to have awful, awful hair days for 3-4 months, every time you go to try to fix the problem, it's going to make it worse. It's going to increase the secretions and the residue because your body's going to want to repel it. So now you've got this fight of your body trying to turn against it, but it's in there. And then it begins to harden. So now you've got a dry, itchy scalp. Maybe you're tired, not feeling well. Maybe you're just exhausted and fatigued. Maybe you're feeling headachy. But you don't attribute it to how the hair looks and the product that you used and what it's done, not only to the hair, but to the follicles, to the skin, to the pores, past the hair, past the layers of skin, straight in to the brain. And you're thinking you're all emotional because you're having a bad hair day, but really it's all these poisons that got into the blood through using that product. Now, if I told you that in the aisle as you reached for that product, would you still buy that product? I think I could say clearly the answer is no. You would say, oh, heck no. I'm not going through all that for months. I can't afford to do that with my hair. I can't wait for my hair to grow out a little bit to get all that muck out of my follicles, out of my skin, out of my pores, out of my scalp. I can't wait for my scalp to heal. You're going to say no. Well, guys, this is really a metaphor for using the seed oils. Because the seed oils go into the body, and they're very high in omega-6s, highly toxic and inflammatory to the entire body, to every system within that body, to every layer within the cells, weakening the system, causing heart issues, causing inflammation and arthritis, causing just a whole disruption of feeling like crap because your body is going into a fight or flight survival mode on the inside. So you're not seeing the display of the hair on the outside. You're feeling the display and the despair and the battle that is going on internally. This is vegetable oils, canola oils, it's sunflower, it's peanut, it's, grapeseed, it's sapphire, it's saffron. It's every one of those seed oils. Every single one of them. Now, it's one thing to take it out of your home diet and only cook with 100% virgin olive oil or a pure-based avocado or a pure-based coconut, all organic. That's one way of helping yourself. But every single time you pick up anything that is made by anyone else, there's going to be traces of seed oils in there. Every single time you eat out at a restaurant, even like me, when you say, is that a farm-raised fish or a wild-caught fish? Because that's a real pet peeve for me. It's going to get sauteed or baked or smothered in a seed oil. Even if I was to say, I'm highly allergic, please don't, do you think anyone in that kitchen is totally separating any of those oils from what they're using on mine? Do you think every single pot and pan is cleaned out? Every single grill is completely wiped off? If I order anything that has been fried, French fry or not, a lot of these people that may be switching over to tallow, and it costs a lot of money to produce tallow in a restaurant, they're blending it with something else. So it even could be an 80-20 blend. There's seed oils in every cupcake, every bread. There's seed oils in everything. Anything processed, there's seed oils. But you don't see the havoc that it's wreaking on your body. You don't see, sense, or feel the fight that is going on in your body until you have repeatedly taken on this offender. And you keep putting it in your body, and your body's trying its best to defend itself. And it's sometimes a very gradual, I'm so tired, I don't feel well, I don't understand why my endocrine system isn't working well, I don't understand why I feel so lethargic, I don't understand why I have all this brain fog, I don't understand why my digestive tract is acting weird, I've been eating pretty good. It's because it is one of those things that builds up in the system. And then your body is just all backed up and it's saying, I can't. I just can't. I'm going to have to overwork the heart to share some more blood flow at a faster pace, try to get the lymph to pick up some of this toxicity. So now I'm overtaxing my heart. In the meantime, it may start with a little crickety ache and pain and then develop into my whole body kind of aches, and then you get used to it, and then you're popping Tylenol or Motrin, and you just can't figure it out. Well, my friends, again, this is happening with so many things that are going on in our food systems. It's not just the glyphosate and the pesticides. It's not just what they're feeding the animals, because even when you're buying organic chickens, they're being given flax and soy. And so we become everything that we eat. So I know for me, I've had to back it up a little bit. And, I was becoming insulin resistant. And a lot of it was from seed oils and so many other things that were clogging up my body. So it's been 6, 7 year quest to come to some aha. My gosh, I had no idea that was a culprit. So you got to start like even the littlest culprits and say, you know what, I'm going to start moving that out. Don't even get me started on the plastics. I myself just started going, okay, plastic utensils out of my life, plastic cups out of my life. I'm doing the best to get plastic water out of my life. Sometimes I have to buy water, distilled water. Everything comes in plastic. So I'm trying my best to live my life with some happiness and joy and to bless everything I partake of and to do my best to remove piece by piece what is called to my attention that is not healthy for my body, much less healthy for those I love. So I cannot give it to them. So a couple years ago, oh my gosh, I had stocked up on grapeseed oil. I had stocked up on what I thought was really good olive oil, which I found later was a blend. I was pissed. I spent a lot of money on all these oils. If I made homemade popcorn, which was very rare because I got away from GMO corns and corn products, I was using a coconut oil and Himalayan salt, thinking I was at least providing a healthy snack. It wasn't, popped in the microwave. And I started going, trash bag, please. I gotta dump all this stuff out. I gotta let it go. I can't ask my body to live in the highest caliber it can live when I am constantly allowing myself to partake of things that are poisoning it. And I look at all these like the innocent cells and the innocent organs and the innocent this and the functionality of all my body trying to work. And then I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that to you. I'm sorry I made you feel that way, which eventually is, all of me, right? But I started talking to my body like it was a third-party entity. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry I did that. I will not do that to you anymore. I want to be alert. I want to be balanced. I want to be optimally functioning. I want a solid, healthy foundation for longevity. I want all these things. Is it going to stop me from eating out in restaurants with friends? Well, I'll tell you, I've cut way back on it. And yesterday I had to go to a high school reunion, not a reunion, high school graduation. And this high schooler wanted all of her favorite foods, which was Chipotle. And then it was Chick-fil-A, which I don't eat. And all these cupcakes. And all these things. Nothing was organic. Not a damn thing was organic. So I ate something very healthy before I left. And when I went, I just ate the meat. And I put some lettuce on the side. I didn't have any chips because I know they're fried in some kind of seed oil. I had some guacamole and I put on some salsa. And that is what I ate. I'm not going to lie. I did have a cupcake. I did celebrate with a cupcake and I blessed it that it may assimilate well with my body and to discard the rest very quickly, but not to discard it on my drive home, okay? Be careful what you ask for. So anyway, most people are bypassing all of these warning signs. Warning, warning, Will Robinson, stay away. That shampoo is going to stay in your hair for over 3 months. and it's going to wreak havoc on your hair. And every time you try to wash it and fix it, it's going to make it worse. You're just going to have to wait for a natural toxicity process. And that's if the rest of your body is in a healthy enough state that it can go to the scalp and fight for your life and push all that toxicity back up and out your scalp so it can slowly dissipate and get rid of it. If you did that to your hair, you would never, ever purchase that product again. And you would shout it from the rooftops. So we need to do this with other things that are going on in our world. And please, my friends, keep these things out of the reach of your children. Take away these food dyes and sugars from all these processed candies that people think is a treat. Let fruit, organic fruit, be the child's treat and reward. Let a loving hug and reading a book be an extra special treat. Be your walk in nature looking at grasshoppers and fireflies and butterflies, maybe seeing deer and counting leaves on a tree. Maybe that's the treat. Maybe those are the rewards for excellent behavior, giving them something to look forward to at some point in time throughout their day if behavior acts up. And let me go back to this behavior, my friends. These are innocent little bodies that have taken on everything you've given them, from the father to the mother, right straight through the baby. And so their systems are less adulterated. So we need to be super careful, because what you may give them on a Monday may end up on a Thursday of being hellish behavior or not feeling well. And they're like, oh my gosh, what happened? Who were they around? What did they get? Well, what were you feeding them? What were they getting into? What are they being taught is food? So back it up and do your best to start making some foods from scratch at home. Pick the highest quality ingredients. Less is more. Quality versus quantity. Even on a budget, my friends. You can do it. You don't give them food for the sake of food. You give them food for medicine and nutrition. You give them food to live. You give them food to keep their cells alive. On top of all of that, consciously bless it with your loving hands as you are touching every part of the process. So when you're multitasking in the kitchen, doing a million freaking things, you could be taking that hectic emotional energy, sticking it straight into the food. So yes, when they eat that, they could be getting the stress that you just put in it versus, whoops, hold up a sec. Let me infuse this with high quality love from my heart to every single bite that my loved one is going to participate. Every spoon, every fork, every cut of their knife is going to pull in, and it's going to magnify the love that I'm putting into this food, that it may nourish their body in the way that I, as their loving parent, wants to see them nourished. Okay? So just take a moment over the next couple weeks, get rid of all the seed oils in your house, replace it, pay attention to what you're buying, do yourself a favor, start getting rid of these cheap plastic cook utensils, start replacing them slowly, It can be cost effective if you just go, oh, you know what? I'm gonna take this couple spatulas and I'm gonna replace them. I'm gonna take these things out. I'm gonna replace that. I'm gonna get a better filter on my house system so I can bypass some of the plastic water. Because some of these filter systems that sit on the counters, first of all, are expensive, and secondly, they're exposed to sunlight. And when you've got sitting water for a while, little enigmas and mold start functioning and forming, and then we're partaking of it. Okay? So it doesn't have to be difficult if you take it on as this is my responsibility. Yes, I may have to work full time and do all this, and that, but I'm going to make the time, and maybe I'm going to have all my children, or if I have a spouse, I'm going to have them interact with me and everyone take turns to plan something, to help prepare it, to set the table, to help clean up. Because we have a very heart-centered reward when we all pitch in. And if we look at it as that is our dutiful way of helping each other, instead of it being, why do I have to do it? It's not my turn. It's everybody's turn every day to help, to pitch in, to be a part of the functioning household. So take control of what you've let go uncontrolled. Take responsibility for how you participate. And then see, sense, and feel the adjustments, because you will. After the griping and some of the other things that may happen, because change isn't easy even for the little ones. Maybe make your own juice popsicles instead of buying them. Maybe making a really wholesome, and I'm just talking off the top of my head here, yogurt and putting a flavor in there, orange or strawberry or almond, and making that little dollop and serving it in a cute little glass bowl as their dessert. Doesn't have to be a big ass bowl, my friends. It could just be, what flavor do you want? Do you want almond? Do you want orange? Do you want strawberry? Put a little of the extracts in there just for a little scent and a little flavor. Now I just thought of that off the top of my head. I put vanilla bean in so many of my things. I put almond in so many of my things, although I don't eat almonds and I don't drink almond milk because it's a lectin for me, but I will use a little extract. Sometimes I'll use a little orange extract. You can actually even, grate a washed organic orange and have that rind, and then chop it up even thinner and mix it in a little bit of yogurt and have that orange zest. You could do the same with lemon. You could chop up strawberries super fine, cherries, blueberries, blackberries, super fine, and stick with what's seasonal, because your body will assimilate it better during that season. The other thing is we're buying so many things that are transported here from way out yonderville, my friends. So get your asses to the farmer's market. Support your local farmer's markets. Get fresh. Go home, clean them with a little vinegar and baking soda. Prepare it, let it dry. Put them in glass containers in your fridge so it's readily available. I personally like my fruits room temperature. Once they dry, I like them room temp, but I do have to refrigerate them so they last me a little bit longer. But get your kids part of that. They can put a little baking soda, vinegar, and watch it watch it fizzle up. Make it like an experiment. Oh my goodness, get a little tongue-tied here because I'm so emotional over these things, because it actually can be very exciting to make healthier choices and to bring the fam into it. So preparation, forward thinking, making your store list. Don't do a Sandy, because I'll stray and I'll go for the sugar. Oh, I will. Next thing you know, I got something in my cart. And if it makes it home to me and I've eaten a little bit of it, I am so angry with myself. And I don't like to do that, because anger is regret, it's shame, it's a dense energy. I don't like to do that to myself. But sometimes I'll laugh and I'll go, really, Sandy? Really? You kind of knew better. You knew you should have eaten something before you actually went there. Something higher in protein, something satiating. And then you bypass all the junk. It's that simple. So I kind of try to laugh it off, and then I trash it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so ridiculous. I do it less and less now. But every once in a while, something stupid just falls into my bag and is on my kitchen counter when I get home. Yes, it does. I'm human. I do stuff like that. So it's work, my friends. It takes discipline, it takes will, and it takes courage, and it takes action. And then I feel so much better when I'm like, you know what? I really didn't have any sugar today. Oh my gosh, I didn't miss it, because I didn't put myself in a position where I was going to be faced with that. So tune it in, my friends. If I can help in any way, let me know. Please tune in to the other videos on the podcast. Listen to a functional medicine nutritionist. Listen to a doctor of psychology. Listen to, friends who have turned their passion into power entrepreneur businesses. I'm going to be interviewing a lot more. Every time you listen to one of my videos, every single time you like, subscribe, share, make a comment, it helps the algorithms of this video. I do my best to keep it 20 minutes or less, but today I went over it because I was using different analogies and because I could. So much love to everybody, so much love, and keep it spiritually simple. Keep things simple. Stay away from the tripping up on the complicated paths. It's not necessary. Take responsibility, take accountability, take action towards a better you in the now. All right? See you all on the next video. Bye.